Hello everyone, I am Doodlemans86, and today I am going to review the Hiya Toys Exquisite Basic Series Skull Devil. The big one from Kong Skull Island joins Hiya Toys Exquisite Basic Series line. Our first articulated and accurate Skullcrawler figure is now available to purchase. Is he worth picking up? So, let's start out this review. Starting off with the box here, it's a very nice looking box. The nice browns and all the dots, the map in the back looks really cool. We have the Skullcrawler here, Kong Skull Island. Yeah, it's a very long box too. Very long because it's a very long figure. Information on the back, Skullcrawler here, and that's the bottom. So now let's get to the figure. So here we have the Skullcrawler. He looks very nice. It's a very cool and unique design. A lot of the, at least in my opinion, all of the original Titans in the Monsterverse have such awesome designs. They're all so cool. They all have their own personalities. Very nice. I love the Titans. They're very cool. And the Skullcrawler is no exception, being the main antagonist to Kong in the Monsterverse, unless you count Godzilla or Scar King. And he looks very nice. He's got that skeletal look to him. He looks very starved, very skinny, lots of veins and wrinkles everywhere. And you have the bony detailing and armor. So here at the face, we have the skeletal armor-like face. We have the jagged teeth here, ginormous. They're very white, and the gums are pink. And as you can see, the inside of the mouth is pink, but it has like this very dry looking pink dry brushing to it, which makes his mouth look dehydrated, which I think is so cool. And the overall jaw looks very nice. It also feels nice because it's bendy, so it's a lot softer than the rest of the figure. And the fleshy membrane here on the side is bendy. It's rubber, so when you open and close it, it also opens and closes, so I think that looks great. The golden yellow eyes look very nice, very menacing. And his whole body is just this very dark green, lots of green everywhere, very green. And he's got a few blacks here and there, so you can see all that looks very nice. His very skinny body, the spike here with the rows and plates here look great with the white. His claws look absolutely deadly. They're jagged and they look nice, not super pointy though because they are bendy, so that's at least good to know. The ribs here, very light green, and there's an orange underneath, which is a very interesting choice. There's orange dry brushing here too, so that looks great. It looks very nice. That green continues with all those blacks. Here we have these spikes, which look very nice, very small and slender tail. So yeah, overall I think the Skullcrawler looks great. He looks great, looks like he did in the film, and he looks awesome. Lots of very nice detailing and colors that just make him look alive. I really like the sculpting and painting on this guy. So going over the articulation, it is very simple. So the mouth opens and closes. As you can see, the fleshy membrane inside also moves with it. Just don't be careful to do it too fast or too hard because you may rip it. And the top of the head here is connected to the jaw in that way. So yeah, it is also connected to this headpiece right here, which has its own articulation. So that's also worth pointing out. And I like the snapping sound, like it kind of sounds like the Skullcrawlers in the movie. I love it when toys do that. It just looks so really, it just sounds and looks really nice. And then here at the head, we have a ball joint, and we have a ball joint at the neck. He can look up pretty far. You can get a nice roaring pose. Down, not a lot. You can also shift the neck. He does look down, but not too much, but it still looks fine. We have a swivel hinge here at the shoulder, go all the way. We have a bicep swivel that goes all the way. Double hinge elbows, so you can get some really nice crawling poses there. The wrists are on the swivel hinge, but they are on ball joints here, like the actual piece here. And then swivel hinge. It's really great. I love that. So then here, when we get to the body, we actually have a ball joint here, which is really great. And then we have another ball joint for the lower body here. And then we have a ball joint at the base of the tail, which lets him look really nice to the left and the right. You can get some really nice and cool poses that way. And then the actual tail itself is on a bendy wire. So I don't know if I've pointed this out, but I really don't like bendy wires. And one particular reason is because they break so easy. I don't know. I just don't really like bendy wires. I don't like moving them at all. I'll still play with them, but I'm not a huge fan of bendy wires. I would have preferred ball joints, but I understand that this is probably the way they went with because it was much easier, and it is nice. You can wrap it around other figures, so yeah. Overall, he's very fun to play with. He's a very nice figure to pose, and overall, you're going to get a lot of fun out of this guy. He's really great. The Skullcrawler here goes for about a price of $50. I got him on Big Bad Toy Store for $55, so not a bad price. And if we get into the sizing here, in his neutral standing pose, he's about 3 to 4 inches, depending on how you have the tail in particular, as well as the arms. The whole body here is more like around 14 inches long. He's a very long figure, bigger than my rulers, you can see. And now we'll get into the size comparisons right now. So next to any Kong figure you might have who is 6 inches, I think he scales nicely. But next to other Kong figures like the Monster Arts and the Playmates here, he does look very nice next to. And I think it'd be size accurate, especially if you have him next to Mechagodzilla here. So he's a pretty good size. And he's gonna look great amongst your Monsterverse shelf, especially since we never got any 6-inch articulated Skullcrawler action figures. So this is a one of a kind, and he's gonna look so great next to Kong, as well as the other Monsterverse Titans. So, is the Skull Devil worth picking up? Yes. Hiya is taking the initiative here and making figures of Titans we have yet to get, like the female Muto, and we could possibly get even more soon. We could get the male Muto, we could even get some of the comic Titans. So, there's a whole world of possibilities here, and the Skull Devil definitely adds to that because he is a nice, long, and gnarly looking figure. He finally can stand next to Kong on the shelf, and you could army build him with a bunch of Skullcrawlers and have one big Skullcrawler, so you know that's always fun to do with. And he's just a very fun figure overall. It's very articulated, very fun to play with. The ball joints are very smooth, and the tail is extremely long. I really love this figure, and I recommend picking him up because he is really fun and really worth having. And we'll also be getting a Skullcrawler number 10, which will improve the articulation and be based off the Skullcrawler from Godzilla vs. Kong, as well as an alternate tongue accessory, which is awesome. Can't wait for that guy. Sadly, he comes out next year. But yeah, this guy is also really great, and I highly recommend picking him up, especially if you are building a Monsterverse shelf. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.